Here we go, one last try. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Say, yes, I can hear you, or I can't hear you. Type it. I'm turning it around. All right, guys. Let me know if you can hear me or not. I've started this video 3 different times. So everybody's probably on an old video wondering what just happened. So if you're here for beginners yoga, which is what this is, one of 3 little series of beginning yoga. So the first one, you're just going to need a mat. If you don't have a mat, just do it on the carpet this time, and hopefully you can get a mat. You know what? I have mats I can give you if you really can't get your hands on a mat right now. I have some old mats. I could just maybe leave one outside the studio, and you can pick it up if you need a mat for your yoga practice, beginning your yoga practice. Congratulations. All right. I'm just going to wait and see if you can hear me, because I don't want to start this if you can't. I can hear me. Someone's here. Can you hear me? It's not saying who's on. This is being a little difficult, a little different for me right now. I'm not quite sure why. Something's a little off. We just had bar. Just make sure that everything's turned on. And it is. This is a little different. Everything's on, that should be on. Everything's plugged in, that should be plugged in. Chrissy, can you hear me? Here comes everybody. Now I'm starting to see some activity. So if you want to skip through this part of me looking in the camera saying, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Fast forward with your little finger, scroll across and go to where you see me sitting on the mat. I'll start when you see me sitting on the mat. So if you're watching this recorded, scroll ahead and begin when I'm sitting back there. I'm just waiting to see someone to tell me if they can hear me or not. It'd be bad to do a whole hour with no sound. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. Can you? Come on. Chrissy, you're watching. Can you hear me? I'm going to assume you can't. You know, homeschooling is going on at home right now with no teacher in the room. It's 10:15. I might change beginner yoga till tomorrow if nobody can hear me. I don't know why I can't see comments. I don't know why I can't get an answer. I'm going to stop it and start again. I'm getting messages, so I'm assuming people are trying to tell me something. Lots of text messages. Okay, so you can hear me. Apparently, I can't see any text, any people writing anything. So I'm going to skip ahead, and we'll start right now. So hopefully you have a mat. I can see who's watching, but I can't see anything you're typing to me. So we're going to start beginner's yoga. Hopefully you have skipped ahead until this space right here. Sorry about that weird beginning. All right. So beginners 1. There's going to be beginners 1, 2, and 3. I know I'm kind of far away from you right now, but I want you to be able to see me later when I stand up. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. So we are going to start today. It's Tuesday today, live at least. You could be watching this anytime you'd like. And we're going to start today with our beginners 1 class. On Thursday, we'll have beginners 2, and on Saturday, Saturday, we'll have beginners 3. But I don't want you to go ahead to beginners 2 until you're comfortable with beginners 1. So you can watch beginners 1 and then go back later and repeat anything you think you need more work on. And then go on to number 2, and then go on to number 3. And then after that, next week, I'm going to just do 3 beginner yoga classes. So you can start out nice and slow. So we're going to start by just explaining to you different types of yoga. So you might see yin yoga, vinyasa yoga, ashtanga yoga, kundalini yoga. There's all sorts of different kind of yoga you can see, you can take. I think I should turn the lights on. Keep listening. There's all sorts of different types of yoga you can do. I'm just going to explain the kinds we teach at Happy Hour Yoga. There's Bikram yoga. There's all sorts of different kinds. And, you can just Google. If you see at a studio that they have Bikram yoga, you can look it up and see what that is. But here we don't have that. At Happy Hour, we have Ashtanga, which is kind of like the father of all yoga. It's a class that's always the same every single time. And that's really nice because you can see your progression. You can see that you're getting a little more bendy and a little more better at balancing and a little stronger. And it's really, and you know what to expect when you take that class. And that's a good place to start. It's a little challenging, but it's a good place to start because you learn about each pose. We also have Let Go here, which is yin yoga. I would suggest anybody starting out with yoga start out there. That's just sitting down or laying down. Almost all poses are done grounded. So you're stretching for a long time. And it's a really nice way to clear your mind and stretch your body. We have slow yoga and fast yoga, if you look at the schedule. Some says warm yoga, it's just we turn the heat up to about 85. If it's warm yoga, it's warm yoga. It's turned up to, in this winter time, it's about 83. In the summertime, it can get up to 90. But it's not hot yoga. Hot yoga is like over 100. We don't do that here. I don't have that here, and I've been asked not to have that here. That's, it's warm. It's nice and comfortable. You'll sweat, but you won't die. And so slow yoga and fast yoga. Slow yoga it's kind of like Ashtanga because you hold the poses and kind of hear a little bit more about each of the poses while you're holding the poses, but it's not always the same. It's always different. And fast yoga, I don't think fast yoga is any harder than slow yoga. Actually, I sometimes think slow yoga is harder because you're holding poses for so long. Fast yoga might be more confusing for someone who's never done yoga because you don't know the names of the poses. So when you're flowing, one pose, one breath, and I say triangle, you're going to be like, what's triangle? And you're going to get a little lost. Some people do start with fast yoga, jumping all in, and that's okay too. Bhakti yoga is the same almost as slow yoga, the same format. We just add a little more spirituality and gratitude to that class. That's our Sunday morning class, and we have a prayer list at the end. Take some quiet time for people who need extra prayers. Let Go and Flow is another class on the schedule. That's another class that's always the same every time, and it's more of a moving meditation than a physical workout. So it's let go, lots of stretching, but only for 10 breaths, and a little bit of movement, very slow. Always, every single breath is counted. You never have time to let your mind wander because we're keeping you with your breath the entire time. And it ends with a guided meditation, so it's very relaxing at the end. We also have Yoga Nidra, which is just a guided meditation. You lay down and you relax. So I realized that people starting out with this beginner yoga, you're going to be all different areas. Some, like my mom, she wants to start yoga. She's 80-something years old. This would be a little too much for her. Even this beginner's one, I'm going to make her a nice little at-home yin yoga class, and I'll share that. So if you're 80, you might want to start a little slower than this. I know I'm going to have some people who are very active, who work out all the time, but just simply haven't tried yoga yet. So there's all different people who are going to take beginner's yoga. Some people who aren't very active at all, and some people are really active but would like to try yoga too. So just take this at your own pace. I'm going to give you different options. Always there's different options in all of our classes. So just take it at your own pace. If you're unable to sit down and get back up and sit down and get back up, then you're going to start out a little slower than this. If you have trouble getting up out of a seated position off of the floor, then start with yin yoga. Get yourself a little more flexible and a little more able to move around a little bit more before starting beginners 1. And let go. That's a let go class. We've got lots of them on this happy hour at home private yoga group. We have lots of let go options. So I would say to start out there, just get yourself a little more comfortable and then come back to this beginner's 1. So enough of that. So what do you expect in every yoga class? So first you're going to probably just sit still. In most yoga classes, you'll either start seated or laying down or laying on your belly. The teacher will have you just kind of, when you walk into a yoga class, and lay your mat out, and we'll just have you just kind of settle for a minute and think about your breath. I love yoga, and I started loving yoga because we would start out laying down and we would end up laying down. And I can do anything in the world if we start by laying down and end by laying down. I'll get through that middle part because I know I get to lay down again at the end. That's just me, though. So you're going to start by just settling down and thinking about your breathing. Kind of just get into a little zone before you start with a warm-up. And then you're going to start with some sun salutations, and you're going to learn a sun salutation today. So almost all yoga classes will start with sun salutations, especially here. Ashtanga starts with some sun salutations. Fast and slow start with sun salutations. Let go and flow has sun salutations. So that's super common, and probably you'll get that in almost every class you go to. Then you'll start to go through some poses, either fast or slow. So you're going to learn different poses. So in beginners 1 here and 2 and 3, I'm not going to go through every single yoga pose there is and teach you every single yoga pose there is. First of all, it would get boring, and second of all, you'll learn those poses as you start to go to more yoga classes. You'll be doing a yoga class and you'll think, well, I've never done revolved triangle before, and you'll learn it there. I don't need to teach you every yoga pose. That's why you go to the classes. I'll teach you some, but not all of them. I'm just going to teach you the basics, and then when you start to go to yoga classes or take some on line here with our live classes, you'll start to learn all the poses. I can't lump every pose into 3 different classes. So then at the end, after you go through some sun salutations and different poses, you'll come to yin, which is that relaxing kind of yoga. You'll start to bring it down again. So if in the middle of a yoga class you're like, no way, I'm not doing this, just wait. It'll start to come back down. Just take it at your own pace. So it ends with some stretching, maybe an inversion, some twists, and then you lay down again. My favorite part. So that's what to expect. So usually after you lay down, your teacher, your instructor, whatever you would like to call her or him, will have you go through some breath movement or some breath. You'll work on breathing. So we're going to do that right now. There's lots of different ways you can breathe. Sounds funny, but there is. There's many different ways that we can get you to start thinking about your breath. One is just breath awareness. You just listen and hear and feel your breath. We're going to do Dirga Pranayama. Pranayama just means breath, and you'll hear Sanskrit words in all these yoga classes. I'm not going to teach you all the Sanskrit words. You'll learn that as you go along through yoga. But pranayama is breath. Dirga Pranayama, we're going to do belly breathing actually today. How about that? It's not, we'll do Dirga next time. So you're going to take your hands and place your hands on your belly while you're sitting here on your mat. So cross your legs and just sit up. You're welcome to sit on a pillow. You could even lay down and do this, but we'll do it sitting up. So place your hands on your belly. So we're going over the breath first because yoga's really all about your breathing. So belly breathing, you're going to try to get that air going right past your chest and breathe all the way down into your belly. So your hands will rise and fall with your breath. If you put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, then the hand on your belly will move up and down with your breathing. The hand on your chest will stay still. So just close your eyes, breathe in and out through your nose, and see if as you breathe you can make your belly get big as you inhale and small as you exhale. This is great for kids too, anybody. So take it 2 more times, breathing all the way down into your belly. And then you can rest your hands on your lap. So it's just a way, did you think about anything else when you were doing this? Or were you just thinking about your breathing in your belly? It clears your mind. So we start with breath work, usually always first. This, like I said, is great for kids. To just go into your room, sit down, and practice some belly breathing, it totally clears your mind. You're thinking about your breath, and it's quieting and calming and awesome. So we just did some belly breathing, and now we're going to start with a little warm-up. And since we're seated, we're going to start with the seated warm-up. So we always just start to move out slowly in yoga. So with this seated pose, let's take your arms and reach your arms up over your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands to the ground and just start to fold forward. Maybe all you do right now is bow your chin down, or maybe you're able to come a little farther. Maybe you can bring your elbows to the ground. So you're relaxing forward. You're not seeing how far you can get. You're just relaxing forward. You might feel this in your hips or your lower back. You can rest your head. If you can't rest your head, but you'd like to, you can use a blanket. We have blocks here at the studio. Most studios have them. You can use that to rest your head on, to sit on. I'm not using blocks today because if you've never done yoga, you probably don't have a yoga block at home. But if you do, feel free to use it. So you're just folding forward, waking up your lower back and your hips, your knees, your ankles. And then you're going to slowly come on up. So lean back a little bit and switch your legs. And get yourself settled in this new little position you have here with your legs. Reach your arms up over your head. Get tall. Pull your belly in. And then bring your hands to the ground. Lower your elbows. Rest your head again. If your elbows don't touch the ground, it's fine. We're all different, especially if you first started. You're not really open through your body yet. And you'll see as you continue to practice yoga, you'll get a little further, you'll get a little further, you'll get a little further. So just relax here in this forward fold. I remember when I first started doing yoga, I was in the back of the room, sitting right by the hand weights every single time. I remember. So unflexible. Do you know that box you use in middle school and high school, and they test how far you can reach forward? I couldn't touch the box. I'm like, I hate this test. I can't even I can't even get to the little number 0 on the box. So sitting in the back of the room, one day I touched my toes, and it was like so awesome. I told everyone about it. They're like, so what? Great. I can touch my toes. Well, I couldn't, and it was an awesome thing. It's a great thing about yoga. You see your progression. You couldn't stand on one leg for 2 seconds, then you start to stand on one leg for 2 minutes. You'll see. It's a good feeling. So slowly start to come up out of that forward fold. And bring your hands to your sides. Reach your arms up above your head again, and you're going to turn to your right. So think about your right. Turn to the right. Bring your right hand behind your back. Bring your left hand to your right thigh. Sit up tall. Get as tall as you can. Lift up through the crown of your head, and now just look over your right shoulder. So we're just taking a twist, and we're going to hold it. So every time you breathe in, get a little taller. And as you breathe out, twist a little further, but you're not forcing it. We just started, so we're just gently moving our body. We're not forcing, pressing, pulling, pushing. We're just gently moving. On your next inhale, reach both arms up. And as you exhale, turn to the left. So bring the left fingertips behind your left hip and bring your right hand to your left thigh. Lift up, breathe in. And as you breathe out, look over your left shoulder. So we're just twisting, warming up your spine, your hips, your sides, your belly. See if you can keep breathing into your belly. Keep practicing your belly breath. On your next inhale, you're going to reach both arms up. One more thing. Take the right hand and bring it to the mat next to your right hip and take a side bend. So you're going to reach the left arm over your left ear. Maybe this is as far as you go, or you can start to bend your right elbow and come a little lower and feel a stretch up the left side of your body. So if you're hunching forward and looking at the ground, try to come up a little higher, pull your left shoulder back, and instead look up past your arm towards the ceiling. Inhale, come on up, reach both arms up, and exhale. Place your left hand down on the mat next to your left hip and take the side bend the other way. You can start to bend the left elbow. Sorry, guys. So if you find your right shoulder turning forward and you're looking at the ground, again, come up a little higher, pull the right shoulder back and look up towards the ceiling. And if anything hurts, if this hurts your neck, don't listen to me, don't do that. Nothing should hurt. You feel a stretch but no pain. Inhale, come on back up, reach the arms up, and then exhale, bring your hands back down. So you're going to shift forward to table onto your hands and knees, or you're going to just swing the legs around. We're all going to meet on our hands and knees on your mat, in table, or just standing on your hands and knees. So shoulders are right above your wrists. Your knees are about hip width distance, and the tops of your feet are resting on the mat. So when you go to your first yoga class, or you try one of your first yoga classes, and it's getting to be a little too much because it's your first time, don't give up, turn it off, and walk away. Take a break, rest, and join back in when you're ready. I would suggest the first few times, watch a yoga class. Do most of the class just watching. So when you're in a class and taking a class and you need to stop, come to child's pose. You're going to sit back on your heels and lower your forehead to the ground or to your hands. And just hold child's pose. Let's say you're thinking, this feels terrible. Why would I stop here? Just sit down and relax. Eventually, child's pose will become a resting pose. If it's a challenging pose, just sit down and rest. Maybe lay on your belly or lay on your back and join back in whenever you're ready. So from child's pose here, with your forehead down, reach your arms out in front of you. Take an inhale, come up onto your hands and knees so you're back at table. And you're going to tuck your toes behind you and lift your hips. So downward facing dog. So down dog is also a resting pose. Maybe not right now for you. Eventually it might be. If you're too far apart, it's going to be like a weird plank pose, and it's going to be way too challenging. So bring your hands and feet a little closer together. If you can press your heels onto the ground, they're too close together. Step back till your heels are just hovering off of your mat. Now let your head just be heavy between your arms. And then bring your knees back down to the ground. So let's say that was super hard and very difficult for you. Table right here is a substitute for downward facing dog. And maybe you just work on downward facing dog a little each day until it gets a little better for you. Otherwise, we're all going to come back to downward dog. So press the heels down, tailbone up, head is heavy. Hold and breathe. You're not holding your breath. I'm going to teach you a vinyasa. It's a little flow. It's a couple steps. So we're going to start in downward facing dog. And on your inhale, you're going to come to plank pose. So shift the shoulders forward and lower the hips. You can move your feet if you need to. So plank pose, one long straight line, and you're welcome, more than welcome, to lower the knees to the ground. But if you do that, keep your hips forward. Don't come to table. You're in a plank pose. And your gaze, or you're looking past your mat. You're going to start to bend the elbows. Whether your knees are up or down, you're going to bend the elbows and lower down in one long straight line and come all the way down to your belly and rest. Flip your feet, roll the shoulders back, and just lift your chest up. This is low cobra, baby cobra. You're not using your arms at all. You're using the strength in your back. And then exhale, back to table, tuck your toes, lift your hips to down dog. So that's a vinyasa. That's a variation of a vinyasa. We're going to do that kind again. So inhale to table and lower your knees. Exhale, lower down all the way to your belly, flip your feet. Inhale, lift up. Just lift the chest. You're not using your arms. You don't need to move your arms out of the way. I'm just showing you that you're not using your arms at all. Take another inhale. Exhale to table, hands and knees, tuck your toes, and lift your hips. Downward facing dog. So if you're like, piece of cake, Nancy, we're going to do it a little differently. So inhale to plank, keep your knees up. Now, come just onto your toes and bend the elbows. One long straight line all the way down to your belly. Flip your feet. Now you're going to lift up to cobra, or press just a little bit this time into high cobra. Or you can press all the way up, straighten your arms, maybe lift a leg to up dog, and then tuck your toes and lift your hips to downward facing dog. So start with that first vinyasa with your knees on the ground and just come to cobra. Or if you're past that, if you're good with that, you just start doing it a little more advanced. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Maybe you just hover and don't come to your belly. Inhale to upward facing dog with your arms straight, or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, bring your knees to the ground, sit back in child's pose, and rest. So if it's your first time doing yoga, that's a little challenging. You might be a little out of breath. You might feel a little winded, a little tired, a little hot. That's awesome. We all start somewhere. So that's part of a sun salutation. That's the bottom part of a sun salutation. We're going to learn the top half, a half sun salutation. And then we're going to put it together. So you're going to know how to do a sun A by the next 3 minutes. What? Okay, come up onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look towards your hands. You're going to walk or step or hop your feet to your hands. So get your feet to the top of your mat any way you'd like. Walk, step, or hop. So you're standing at the top of your mat, folding forward. Bring your fingertips to your shins, right below your knees. Straighten your legs a little more. Flatten your back. So you look like the number 7, and you're gazing. I keep saying gaze. It just means where you're looking. Gazing forward. So your back is totally flat. If you look down at your legs, your spine will round. So nice flat back. Lift your tailbone. Breathe in. Now exhale, fold. Inhale, stand all the way up. Reach your arms up. Bring your palms together. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. This is mountain pose. So we're at the top of our sun salutation. So hands are pressing together. Press your feet down into the mat. Lift up through the crown of your head. Pull your belly in and up. Mountain pose. Everything is strong. Engage your thighs. Strengthen your arms. Everything's engaged. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Look up. Exhale, fold forward again. So dive all the way down. Hands come to or towards the mat. Your gaze, you're looking at your knees. Now back to that number 7. Fingertips to your shins. Now lift and lengthen. You're pressing the crown of the head forward. You can wiggle your toes. Your 4 corners of the feet are pressing into the mat. Take a breath in. Now bring the hands to the mat. You can step or hop or walk your feet to the back of the mat to that high plank pose, just like before. Knees up or down, and then lower down. It's called Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog, just like before, or maybe cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. You just did it. You did it. We're going to do it again. All right, you're going to take an inhale and look towards your hands. Exhale, step, hop, or walk your feet forward. Hold right there. If you're not into hopping forward, because that's one of the hardest parts, you can always walk your hands back to your feet instead. So you're either standing at the top of your mat, folding forward, or you're at the back of your mat, folding forward. Now inhale, halfway lift, that number 7, looking forward. Spine is long, neck is long. Now fold, looking at your knees. If you need to bend the knees, great. Inhale, stand all the way up. Reach up, palms together. Exhale, hands to your heart, mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Look up. Exhale, forward fold, gaze to your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Now as you exhale, you come to plank pose. So you're either going to hop your feet back or walk your hands forward to plank. Knees up or down, and lower yourself down. Hover or come to your belly. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You just did another sun A. Let's rest. Knees on the ground. Sit back on your heels and rest, or just sit if that hurts your knees. So hold your child's pose. Your eyes are closed. Practice your belly breathing. A little harder in child's pose, but guide your breath all the way down into your belly. Keep breathing. We're going to do just 2 more sun A's. A little faster with the breath. So this video here, you can always come back to and get this sun salutation down. Work on it, work on down dog, work on your vinyasa, and then work on sun salutations. When you want to move on to beginners 2, then we'll start learning more about different kinds of sun salutations. Right now, just stick with this one. We got a lot of time to be learning something new like this, so you don't have to rush through it and say, nope, don't like it. You might not like it because you rushed through it, so take your time. So one more breath here in child's pose or seated. And then come back up to table. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. So we're going to do 2 more sun salutations starting from down dog. So inhale, bend your knees. Now exhale, either walk your hands back to your feet or walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat and get yourself to plank pose, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold here, couple breaths. We always pause in down dog. Pause. Down dog. Get it? Not funny. Take an inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, hands to feet or feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach the arms up. Exhale, mountain pose. Belly in. Everything is strong. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank pose. Knees up or down and lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome, guys. Come back to table. And we're going to take a seat on the mat. So swing the legs around and just sit down on your mat. So sun salutations, you just did it. I think everything kind of stems from a sun salutation in yoga. So you just got a great beginning to starting out yoga. Here's another little tip from your old Uncle Nancy. When I did yoga the very first time, it was on a DVD and I hated it. It was on like a video cassette. That's how long ago it was. I hated it. I never did it again. I got a terrible headache. You probably heard me tell this story if you've ever heard me talk about starting yoga. I put the tape away and I never did it again. I got a splitting headache. I think that was just a coincidence. I would have gotten the headache whether I did yoga or not. So I put the tape away and I never did it again. I tried it again. About a year later, I actually went to a Bikram class that my sister-in-law taught, and I'm like, okay, that was really hard, but I liked it, and it felt good. So I took that video back out and I started doing it again. So give this at least 3 tries. Don't turn this video off at the end of the class today and say, that was horrible, I'm never doing that again. Because if I had done that and never had done it again, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I'm not saying you're all going to own a yoga studio and struggle through a pandemic one day, but you might really like it. Just give it a chance. If you talk to any yoga teacher, they'll say try it 3 times, not just once. Anything is hard the first time. Anything is uncomfortable the first time. So you go 3 times, and you either keep hating it and stop, or you start to like it a little more each time. So give yourself a chance, give it a chance, and keep up with it. Keep coming back to this beginners 1 and then move on to beginners 2. You'll feel good. It's wonderful to start a new thing. After 3 times and doing these 3 beginners 1, 2, and 3, if you don't like it, then maybe jogging is for you. I don't know, but just give it a couple chances. All right, so now that we've had a little rest here, I'm going to show you boat pose. I will show you some poses. One is boat. So I'm sure you've all heard of boat before, right? It's called Navasana. So you're going to sit on the ground with your feet out in front of you together. So your feet are touching and your knees are touching. So there's lots of options. You can hold on to your legs and lean back. Let's try that. You can always have arms out, palms up, elbows bent. You can reach towards the front of your mat. You can place the hands behind your back, fingers facing your feet, and just lean back using your arms. That's fine too. So we'll start holding on to the legs. Lean back. And instead of leaning back and tucking your chin and rounding your spine, you're leaning back, but you're pressing the chest forward and lifting your chin. You don't have to look up, but just keep a nice neutral neck looking forward. Maybe you just lift your heels up off the ground and keep your toes on the ground. So are your legs still touching? Are your feet still touching? Have you collapsed down, or are you still lifting that chest up? If you want to go a little farther, lift your legs halfway off the ground. You can still hold on to your legs or bring your arms out to your side. This is good for kids too. All right, maybe you straighten the legs all the way out, or maybe you don't. You can also reach the arms over your head. Any way you want to take your boat pose. We're just going to hold it for 3 breaths. Try that belly breathing. Shine your heart. 2 more breaths. Right into your belly. Last one. And then bring the feet down and come out slowly of your boat pose. So there you go. You just did boat pose. Look at all the things you've learned today. Sun salutation, vinyasa, child's pose, table, boat pose. You're good. I knew you'd be good at this. All right, let's talk about yin yoga, which we call let go at happy hour. So yin is that relaxing yoga where it's always either sitting or laying down. Not always, but 90% of the poses are done laying down. So here we always have a little stretch at the end of that active sun salutations. So we're going to practice a yin pose right now. So there's no forcing in yin. It's relaxing in yin. So we're going to come, caterpillar is folding over your legs, both legs. We're going to come to half caterpillar. So bend your right knee and let the right leg fall out to the side. So the bottom of your right foot is against the inside of your left leg. And it can be way up here by your body, or you can slide that foot a little further away from you. What feels best on your knee? What feels more comfortable? So the left leg is straight. If you're super inflexible, my daughter, it's very hard for her to do her hamstrings are so tight. So she always puts a towel or a blanket under the knee. So it's bent a little bit. You can do that. So you're set up for half caterpillar, or Janu Shirshasana. Take an inhale, reach your arms up, get tall, pull your belly in. Now exhale, fold over your leg. Maybe you just rest your hands on your leg and bow your chin down, and that's as far as it goes. You're tight in your leg, you're tight in your lower back. Don't pull as hard as you can. Just rest forward. Now notice your breath. You can try some of that belly breathing, and every time you exhale, see if you can surrender a little bit more. You're just relaxing forward. Notice your left foot. Relax it in or out. Let it fall whichever way is natural. And then maybe you can relax just a little further. So your hands are resting on your leg or next to your leg, and your elbows are bent because your arms are just relaxed. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your head is relaxed. So every time you breathe out, let go of tension in your body. Somewhere. Notice your jaw. Unclench your teeth. Relax your jaw. So hopefully your eyes are closed, but just barely closed. Relax your eyelids. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. You're just surrendering forward. So in yin yoga, let go yoga, we hold the poses for a long time, relaxing into those poses for a long time. stretching out the tissue in your body. So you're stretching your hamstrings. I feel it more in my right hip. As long as you feel a stretch, you're doing it right. If you feel pain, you're not. Come out of it, readjust, and try it again. No pain. Relax a little more. A lot of people, it's hard to sit still and slow down and hold these long poses. It's so good for you, especially the people who have a hard time sitting still. It's so good for you. Not just your flexibility, but just to quiet down. Just hold for 2 more breaths. See if you can guide the breath into your belly. Sink a little deeper. 1 more breath. Sink a little deeper. And then inhale. Slowly come all the way up. Lean back on your hands. Lift the right knee and straighten out your right leg. And just hold here, leaning back on your hands. So after that forward fold, you could give yourself a little back bend and press the chest and belly forward. Let your head fall back. And then come on up. We got to do the other side. So bend the left knee and let that left knee fall out. So the bottom of your left foot is against the inside of your right leg, high up towards your body or more towards your foot. Find a good spot. You can always rest this leg on a pillow too. Relax your foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Bring your hands to the ground. So if all you do is bow your chin, a lot of people are doing this in the class, I promise you. If you're like, I'm not going to go to yoga class until I can fold over. No, go to a yoga class whenever you feel like you're ready. It doesn't matter what you look like. It matters what you feel a stretch in your body. That's all that matters. So if you're just bowing your head down, that's awesome because you're tight. And I think you'll see some improvement or more flexibility the more you do this. You'll see more of a change than people who are able to just lay down on their legs because their hamstrings are stretchable. Stretchable? So just surrender. So are your elbows straight? Are your elbows bent or are your arms straight? If they're straight, you're not relaxed. Bend your elbows. Wiggle your fingers. Relax your hands. Get a little deeper. Relax that right foot, right ankle. Every time you exhale, sink a little further. So this isn't so bad, right? So it's going to get more and more active, and then you're going to start to get more and more relaxed again. See if you can guide the breath into your belly. Relax your shoulders. Soften your eyes, your forehead. Unclench your teeth. Notice where your thoughts are. If you're thinking, how long is she going to hold this? Or wonder how much longer this class. Just think about your breathing. Notice how the air is cool as you breathe in. Warm as you breathe out. Cool as you breathe in. Warm as you breathe out. 2 more breaths. Now on the next inhale, slowly come on up. Take your time. Start to lean back on your hands. Lift the left knee. Straighten out the left leg. Lean back. Maybe give yourself that back bend. And then come on up and just lay down on your back. We're going to talk about Shavasana next time, but we're going to lay down for a minute here. The end of yoga is most people's favorite, Shavasana. We're going to go over that a lot more next time. For right now, bring the knees up, bring your feet to the ground, and rest your arms out nice and wide. You can just leave your feet right where they are on your mat and let both knees fall over to the right. Relax your shoulders. Take your gaze or just turn your head to the left. Relax your belly. Relax your hands. Your whole body is relaxed. Breathe to your belly. We're doing belly breathing today. So take the breath all the way to your belly. The first written word about yoga, thousands of years ago, was Yoga Sitta Vritti Nirodha, which means yoga is the cessation of the fluctuation of the mind. So yoga is about clearing your mind. The cessation of the fluctuation of your mind, stopping the chatter in your mind. So like you've practiced today, think about guiding your breath to your belly. Notice the cool air as you breathe in and the warm air as you breathe out. Bringing all your focus to your breath and ceasing the fluctuation of your mind just by using your breath. And slowly, maybe even one at a time, bring your knees back up to center. Keep your feet where they are and just let the knees fall over to the left. Turn your head to the right. Relax your shoulders, your hips, your belly. Cold air in, warm air out. Belly is rising and falling. Staying mindful of each breath. Nothing else matters but this breath you're on right now. No need to think about anything in the future, anything in the past. Just enjoy this breath that you're on. And then bring both knees back up. Straighten your legs out, bring your arms to your sides. So just for a few more breaths, we're going to focus on your belly breathing. So rest your arms at your sides, or if it helps, bring your hands to your belly. Close your eyes. And just take maybe 5 more breaths, guiding your breath into your belly. One more breath. And then slowly bend the knees. You can roll onto either side and press yourself up to a seated position on your mat. With your legs crossed in front of you. If for some reason that hurts your knees or anything, don't sit that way. Sit a different way. So it's a practice. It's a yoga practice. It's not a yoga perfect. You don't have to do everything you're told to do. If something hurts, you don't do that. If it hurts to sit like this, then straighten out the leg it's hurting, or sit a different way, or sit on something. My friend Jane is in classes on Sundays, and she has a bad knee, so she doesn't sit like this. She sits like this, which is wonderful. Something hurts, don't do it. Always, in every single class. When you need to take a break, stop and take a break. You're doing yoga, whether you're sitting down in child's pose, or whether you're eating a carrot on your couch but focusing on your breath. You're doing it. Give yourself a break. Take it slowly. It's as hard as you make it, and it's not painful. We always end with namaste. Namaste at home and eat my carrots. No, that's not what this is. So namaste just means I bow to you. It simply means I'm glad I had this time here with you. I love you, I respect you, and it literally means I bowed to you. means the light within me honors the light within you. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for sharing part of your life with me. That's what it means. Namaste. So bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. And on the count of 3, you're going to say it out loud. All right, you are. You're in your own home. You can do this. All right? 1, 2, 3. Namaste. That's it. So, you just completed your first, maybe, beginner's yoga class. So do it a couple different times until you get used to this one. It's going to stay online. It's going to stay up for a while, probably forever, unless I take this page down someday. So you can always come back and review it later and just go through this whole thing over again. Keep taking it until you're good with the sun salutations, until you're okay with downward facing dog. And then you can move on to beginners 2. A little more involved, a little more sun salutations, different kinds of sun salutations. And so the next time in beginners 2, we're going to go over a sun B. So you just learned sun A. In beginners 2, you'll learn a sun B. We'll go over a different kind of breathing, the 3-part breath I almost did. We're going to do Dirga Pranayama, 3-part breath. We're going to work on some balancing poses, standing up on one foot. And I wrote it down, but I can't read it. Balancing poses. Seriously, I can't read it. We're going to do some new poses. So some new poses. We did boat today. We'll do something new next time. And some new warm-ups in the beginning. So new breath, new warm-ups, new poses, a sun B instead of a sun A. All new things. We'll go over Shavasana. At the end, we lay down, and we didn't really talk about it too much. We'll talk about it more next time. So get used to beginners 1. Move on to beginners 2, and we'll learn all sorts of new things. And please comment below if you liked it or not, or what you thought, well, that was way too hard. Because if I do it again, I'll do another one, like beginners 0.5, maybe a little bit easier. I would love to hear your comments. I would love pictures of you on doing your first yoga class. Post anything. I like this page because it keeps us all connected. Whether you always have come to Happy Hour Yoga or if you're new, it's nice for us to all kind of stay together and communicating. And I want to know what you think. I want to know what you want more of, more classes. Tell me what you think. Stay connected. Stay healthy. Stay inside. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for everything. Have a good day.